In just a moment, we're going to have news about an election with our gang. But if there ever were an election and we were to vote on the best chocolate syrup of all, you know which one it would be? It would be Bosco, outstandingly so, because there's no question. But Bosco being not just the best chocolate syrup, mind you, but the best chocolate syrup in the world. You know, you can't say that unless it's true. And it's true. This is what I've been telling you for I don't know how long now. It's the best. Bosco folks have a special way of making it. They have a real rich chocolate flavor you don't get anywhere else. It's not watery and thin like others, you see. You don't have to keep pouring it in the glass and pouring in some more and pouring. Here's what you do. Take a Bosco and a spoon, like I'm about to do here, and you pour it in your glass and wait till you see that real, deep, rich, downright delicious chocolate syrup that comes up there and transforms this into a real soda fountain treat. I'm telling you, you just never can possibly get, I don't even think you're going to get this at a soda fountain. Now, what do you think of that? And you can do it yourself right at home. And Bosco is so delicious. You try it, see what I mean? Oh, man, that's good. Oh, that's so delicious. And you know what you can do with Bosco, too? Not only does Bosco give you vitamin D and iron. Vitamin D is a sunshine vitamin, makes you glow with health, and iron is so important as a mineral. But you can take Bosco right out of the jar and pour it on pudding, for instance, or pound cake, and make the most delicious dessert you've ever had in the whole world. So I don't mind saying it, and I'm very proud of the fact that Bosco is the best chocolate syrup in the world. You try it and see, and then you go with Bosco, go with Bosco, B-O-S-C-O. Be sure to ask for it. You can't do better than that. Just can't do it. So be sure to ask for it. Remember, the fact that it isn't watery makes it economical. See, Mom will like that too. All right, now, while we're drinking our Bosco, we have a little preview of tomorrow night's election. And let's see what that's all about, my friend.
Good evening, goblins and ghouls, and welcome to the Wednesday Night Scream Stream Mini-sodes. I'm your host, Spakenstein, joined as always by my very good friends, Mr. Evan Sink.
Good evening.
And Mr. Fresh Rogan.
What's going on?
We're getting loud with our intros tonight, guys. That's going to be hard to top.
Fresh.
That's only Fresh
Coming in
real
hot.
How are we going to top that? How are we supposed to compete with that, Fresh? And you come in with those bangers right out of the gate. How are Evan and I just dropping bombs left and right? And Evan and I are over here, good evening. And then just,
Imagine you go on a late night talk show and the host suddenly has a soundboard.
That's essentially what our show is.
I'm sure they've given Conan like a soundboard at some point, right?
Well,
he doesn't have it now, which means if they did, it did not go well.
What's his name? Right. What's his sidekick's name? Andy
Dick.
No, I wanted to say Andy Dick, but I know it's not Andy Dick.
I'm pretty sure it's Andy Dick.
No, it's not Andy Dick. I wanted to say Andy Dick too, but it's not right.
Andy Cohen?
No, that's not it either. It's
pretty sure you're talking about Andy Kaufman.
Richter, Andy Richter. That's who it is. Andy Richter, which doesn't even sound like a real person now that I say the name out loud, but he's Conan's sidekick. That's definitely
Andy Dichter.
Andy Richter couldn't work a soundboard, so they had to do away with it after a few episodes. But No, this show is what happens if it was a late night show, with a soundboard. I myself can't operate a soundboard. I don't have those skills.
It's
Exactly.
a good one.
Exactly.
That
That
was
was
a good one. Gary.
very, very well timed. Impeccable timing. That's why Fresh has the soundboard. I only have access to random, useless knowledge about public domain horror movies. And so that's what we bring you here on this show. This is what you guys watch for. So we're thankful that you guys are kicking it with us tonight on this Wednesday, as we're gonna enjoy some public domain horror as we always do, and getting into our 4th or 5th episode of Lights Out, which is an anthology TV series.
Rappaccino's daughter.
Yes, and tonight's episode is Frappuccino's daughter. That's correct. That's the title. Frappuccino's daughter. That's the newest drink you can get at Starbucks, and it's apparently gives you diarrhea. So I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah, you can. If you go to Wendy's and then Starbucks back to back, you can have a son and daughter combo. There we go.
Yeah, that's where you need the crickets, actually, Fresh. That's where the crickets would have really.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hang on.
No.
Say it again.
Okay. If you go to Wendy's and then you go to Starbucks after, you can have the son and daughter combo.
And
Get it? Because like the sandwich.
Yes, that's very, very astute observation. About as good as your type 5 on Amber Alerts. It's always on the mini-sodes. Evan comes in with he's trying out his new stand-up material, and it's hit or miss. You get some your type 5 on Amber Alerts. I think you stick with that one and you build around that. But
maybe we work a little bit on the Wendy's.
Right. Yeah, maybe a little bit. Yeah. So I'm just gonna keep listing them off here on the sound effects tablet of all-time sound effects. Once you get the bullhorn and the old car horn, whatever that sound is, then you'll be cooking with gas. Yeah. Boom, there it is. On the money. Fresh he's got the magic fingers. And this, I think, tonight's episode.
Some people say.
Some people say. Yeah. Who says that, Fresh? Who?
You know what? You're right. I do not want to go to jail. Nobody says that.
Whoa. That's right. I hope not. But yeah, tonight's episode of Lights Out has to do with some let's just say special powers through touch, I believe. It's called Rappaccini's daughter. I think that's how you say it. Frappuccino's daughter would be more fun. But I think it's Rappaccini's daughter. And this is an adaptation of a short story by Nathaniel Hawthorne, who is a famous short story writer. I figured it was a good pairing with this week's episode of the mainstream, where we're going to be showing The Most Dangerous Game, which is an adaptation of a famous short story. So adaptations are the theme for this week, by short story writers, strangely enough. So it's interesting.
Those are people who write stories and are under 5 feet tall.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, how come you never hear about tall story writers?
Well,
I guess those are more tall tales, right?
Right.
Yeah, those are tall tales, and then
huge difference. Just ask if you have a librarian in your house or close to your proximity, then they might be able to kind of tell you about the differences between short stories and tall tales. But Fresh makes
right. Where do the tall tales go on the Dewey Decimal System?
Yeah, but I think Fresh had the main distinction there. If you're under, would you say under 5 foot? Then
Under 5 feet tall, I
Under
think you're
5
a
feet
short story writer.
that's
Is
correct.
that our threshold?
It's not our threshold. That's Dewey Decimal's threshold. Dewey Decimal himself came up
How
with that
tall is
threshold.
Dewey?
I don't
Does
think he
anybody
was
know
any
that?
taller than 4'5".
He was, and I
Okay.
watched Malcolm in the Middle a few times all the way through, and he was not very tall.
No, he just never hit that growth spurt like most child actors.
Yeah, they had Malcolm in the advanced classes. They should have put Dewey in there for all the cataloging.
Dewey was
Yeah, he was
a
in the
genius.
library. That's why he couldn't be in the AP class. He was in the library the entire
He
time.
was too busy shelving all those books.
Exactly.
They're
why
like,
you
"What are
don't-
you
that's what-
doing?" He's like, "I have a new system. Just wait."
That's where he's at when you don't see him on screen. You know he's at the library,
Right.
just stacking books.
Segment
He's
start,
wowing everybody with his decimal system.
and that's the whole show. That's really Dewey's story arc from the very first episode. What is he, like 5? He was in that library sorting books, and it took him all the way to the
In
end
one
of the series.
episode, what's the dad's name? Hal. Hal.
Yeah, I
leaves
think it's
him.
Heisenberg.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's right.
Heisenberg
Sure.
leaves him at the library because the other kids are causing something crazy.
That's a classic Malcolm plot.
Yeah, so Dewey's stuck at the library and he invents a whole decimal system.
Love it.
In one afternoon.
All right, yep. Coming soon, Evan's spec script for an episode of Malcolm in the Middle, a show that's been off the air.
We're gonna revive it.
Oh yeah, maybe
we're gonna get the gang back together.
Get them back
Dude,
together.
I would watch that.
Dewey's finally coming out of the library all these years later. He's finally finished, and Hal, short for Heisenberg, is made a very lucrative killing off of the meth business. And yeah, I mean, and everybody, and Lois is in a judge's robe because I think that was her last big show she had. She played a judge or something.
What you're trying to say is that Bryan Cranston had a longer career after Malcolm in the Middle.
You don't hear as much about everybody else, do you? No.
No, you really
Except
don't.
Lil Frankie Muniz is now a race car driver, so that's fun. If you didn't know that, that's what he's doing now. Good for him. I'm glad he's happy. He deserves to be happy.
Yeah, that's a great. I think that's the play, right?
Mhm.
You get your sitcom in, young. You
Get it out of the way early. Yeah,
You get all the money, and then you just go race cars. Why not?
it makes sense. I mean,
It's like when you're a music artist and then eventually you just go country for the hell of it.
right? You dip your toes in some other waters, and if you're just having a good time, you stick with it. Make a career out of it. Yeah, that's our Malcolm in the Middle cast update. Everybody was really looking forward to that riveting segment. But no.
So I'm reading a little bit about Melville Dewey, and
that was his first name, Melville.
Melville. Well, I looked him up as Dewey Decimal at first.
I want the life story of Dewey Decimal.
And then I had to remind myself, wait a second, that's not his name.
Yeah, that was a joke. I need to have a sign that says a joke that I just hold up when I say things like that.
That's what the crickets are for.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's true. That's a good point.
What is funny though is just reading a little bit about his personality and so the man is obsessive compulsive or something. He says that he's always keeping very detailed lists of everything in his life.
Right.
It's actually really funny.
So he had
makes
OCD
a lot of sense.
for sure, right?
It makes a lot of sense he would organize these books. But you know what I can't find? I can't find the man's damn height. Why is he hiding this? I want to know how
he doesn't
tall
want you to know.
They don't want you to know. It's a government secret. You can't know that
he died of a stroke in Lake Placid, Florida. So I think Jason took him out.
No, it was that alligator in Lake Placid. We all know about the alligator in Lake Placid. It's huge. Giant thing. And Betty White, God rest her soul, before she died, she was feeding that thing all the time. That's my plug for the 20-year-old movie Lake Placid. That's probably 25 years old now. Yeah, I'm not even. It's a fun movie, but Dewey Decimal definitely got eaten by that alligator. So you heard it. You heard it here first.
You know, it doesn't say on Wikipedia how he died, so
it's a mystery. It's a mystery.
What else are they hiding about this man?
Probably a lot. There's probably a lot that they don't want. Because I mean, I could have sworn his name was Dewey Decimal. I swore the librarian in kindergarten. We all are sitting down. It's like, okay, this Dewey Decimal. He created the system. No, I'm definitely misremembering it. But I mean,
that was right. I think that was, we went to public school.
Right. What are you gonna do? Information is hit or miss. Teachers, no. We had great librarians. So yeah, so we're, as you can tell, we got a very literary theme going on with just the whole week. I mean, obviously
we're hitting the books.
Hitting the books. That's right. Hitting the books this week. Yeah, and so this is an adaptation of a Nathaniel Hawthorne short story. He wrote The Scarlet Letter and House of the Seven Gables and a bunch of other like gothic stories from the, I guess the 19th century. I don't know, 19th century American author. So this is like, it's funny because Lights Out actually did a fair amount of short story adaptations, but you can't find very many of them. Like I guess of the Lights Out episodes that are surviving, very few of those survive. So I saw this one. The title looked familiar. I thought it was a Nathaniel Hawthorne story, and I was like, well, that would give me some kind of theme for to try to tie tonight's episode, Mini-sode to Friday's episode. So it's the books. It's all about the books, and this will be probably a gothic tale. These Lights Out episodes have been pretty atmospheric, pretty unnerving, pretty like some good endings. So we'll see if, since tonight is an adaptation,
they've all been modern so far, haven't they? If this is a Hawthorne adaptation, is it like period?
I believe it's period. I don't think that it is a modern adaptation, although I guess it was a couple seasons ago now. Fresh and I we just had like a random mini-sode night and we watched an episode of, I believe it was Suspense with Bela Lugosi, and it was an adaptation of A Cask of Amontillado, the Edgar Allan Poe story, and it was updated. It was given like I guess a post World War II context, and it was like these soldiers and or it was like a soldier and an aristocrat. I don't know. It was like it was an interesting updating. I mean, they obviously were trying to give it like a relevant storyline. They were trying to update it, make it fresh.
Yeah, he lures them into the crypt with a promise of beer and football.
Mm-hmm.
And then he seals them in.
Right, just like Nathan Fielder in that one episode of Nathan For You, when he's inviting all the guys,
just hanging out with the boys.
Hanging out with the boys.
Don't ask what all the bricks are for.
You know what I need? Mother flipping beer. Yeah, that's essentially what that Edgar Allan Poe story is. That was Nathan Fielder's adaptation of that. But no, so I haven't and this has actually been adapted a few times. So we will see during our break a trailer for another adaptation. But for now it's the Lights Out adaptation, so it should be fun. I'm excited. It's been a good show so far. So we'll see how they do tonight. Fresh, are you B? BURB? I guess that's a big NO.
Hmm.
We'll
All right, keep the show going. Keep
we'll
the
do
show
a yeah,
going.
we'll do a little you know, shuffling our feet around. What's it called? A little soft shoe. We'll do a little soft shoe here for you. You
Yeah.
pass the
Okay.
time and just, you know, no, I you can't see my feet, but trust me, it's a very soft shoe.
Do the little
Um,
musical number.
yeah,
We
no.
need to we need an acapella jingle like the Bosco guy.
Oh, true. We do need to start coming up with more
Like
jingles.
we're the Scream
Scream,
Stream
scream,
something.
scream, stream. I don't know. I can't. I'm not a musical writer. Damn it. Um, can't do it. I can't come up with jingles. Jingles are hard if you're gonna do it right. You're gonna do a good jingle. A good jingle. I mean, I guess a good jingle is almost like a good tagline. You know, good.
Yeah.
You know, something short and sweet and to the point. Catchy.
So did they not have chocolate pudding in the 1950s? Like is that
Why they would put Bosco milk enhancer on pudding? I guess.
yeah.
I guess if chocolate pudding wasn't as common a thing. I guess
You think you
well
could buy? You probably couldn't buy like chocolate milk back then. You probably had to get the Bosco.
yeah, no. There's no way they were making chocolate milk back then. Get Bosco. I don't know if the Hershey's was making syrup by then. They probably were. I definitely don't think Nesquik was around. Ovaltine. That's the ads I need to find. I need to go see if
Oh
there's any
yeah, you gotta find
Ovaltine ads.
Ovaltine.
I mean, I still remember like as a kid. Now it makes me feel fucking old, but I swear I still remember like seeing Ovaltine ads when I was like, you know, 5, 6 years old. Maybe
Right, in 1960.
yeah, 1960. That's right. That's right. I look really good for my. I've had a lot of work done, as you can tell. Um, yeah, I don't know.
Well, let's see. Nesquik was around this time.
Oh, it
I was trying to
was.
see if the rabbit when the rabbit
When
kind
did
of
they adopt the rabbit mascot? That's a good question. 'Cause I have another Bosco chocolate syrup ad that I'm going to show in another mini-sode down the road that's got like a little bear like mascot. He's kind of annoying.
Do you know that the the Nesquik rabbit has a name?
What's his name?
You want to take a stab?
Nez? I don't know.
No, it's Quickie. Quickie the rabbit.
Quickie the Nesquik rabbit. Okay,
Yeah.
that's Quickie. Quickie, I don't know how I feel about that.
I don't know how now that
When
I
I
wasn't
keep
really thinking
saying
about
it,
it, but now that
yeah,
we said it out loud,
yeah,
we keep
Quickie.
every time we say it, it just seems a little worse.
Yeah, it gets worse and worse every time. We don't have a yikes here for our in between scenes. Otherwise, I'd yikes myself.
Can we yikes Nestle?
Yeah, I think it's okay. I think they deserve it. They should have known better. They should have thought about that.
Yeah, did that mean that in 1973,
A
the
quickie?
year?
Was that slang around back then? I don't know. That's a good question.
When did
I feel like it's more of a 60s and 70s type of slang. Like definitely 70s once swinger culture gets around and you know, more like sexual like, you know, liberate. I mean, the whole
it seems like kind of a gimme, you know? Like I'm
that.
sure what did people call it before then? Because like there's always the need for, you know, a quick a quick rendezvous.
There you go. I was wondering what word you're gonna say. Rendezvous is a much classier word than what I had in mind. Yeah. There's gotta
Quickie
be.
just seems like a gimme, you know?
It
Like
does.
it's like the easiest way to describe that.
Quickie. Yeah. I mean, it does. It's hard for it to mean anything else once it takes on those connotations. That's for sure. Oh, he's back. He's back. Okay, we've been doing.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good. We've just been doing some soft shoe, killing the time.
Yeah, we're philosophy. Hey, did you know that the Nesquik rabbit?
Not personally, but I've heard of him.
You've heard of him, right? You've seen it. You've seen him on television.
Yeah, I've seen him around town.
Do you know he has a name?
What's his name?
Quickie. Quickie, the Nesquik chocolate rabbit.
What do you think of that, Fresh?
All right, moving on.
We already said if we could yikes ourselves right now, we would.
This is a family show. This is a family show.
This is not a family show. Fuck!
I did not know that was his name.
Yeah, no. If we didn't know, it's news to me.
It's an educational show. We're learning things.
Bringing you all the facts, no matter how discomforting they are. Quickie the rabbit. All right. Which, rabbits too. I mean, I guess we won't get into it. We could do a whole other stream analyzing this. Okay, so I think if you boys have it queued up.
I do.
I'm ready.
All right, then we are going to get into the exciting beginning of Rappaccini's Daughter right now.
Lights out.
Oh no! Hold on, wait. Something's going on with my. Hold on, something's happening. Oh,
I don't see yours on the stream.
I know. I just fixed it. Boom. Okay, well, let's start from the beginning. All right, take it back to 0. Okay, here we go. All right, there it is.
Lights out.
Here we are.
Lights. Oh,
this is rated G.
Hey, I'm rated G.
Are you sure about
that?
I'm
the top G.
Okay, yeah, that's Schwab.
Oh my God, I hate this.
Hello.
There's nothing so
Hello.
in the garden. Among the roses, the peonies, and the phlox. Oh, you don't like gardens? It's funny. Professor Rappaccini is crazy about his. Lights out.
Wow, worst song ever.
What are you talking about, dude? That's a banger. Whoa.
Like, Candle looks terrible on film.
Yeah,
that was crazy.
Obviously doesn't handle it well. It's freaking out.
It's too much. You're freaking the film out.
It's a really cool effect, though.
Yeah. Oh, excuse me. My singing disturbed you.
Oh, not at all, Elisabetta. I wanted to get up anyway.
Oh, now you look fine. This morning when you arrived, you looked so tired.
This is Better Call Saul.
I didn't want to disturb you.
Signor Baglioni said you ran the best boarding house in Italy.
Oh, grazie tante. Signora Baglioni has told you about
I'm going to be a real
You're the
attorney.
most exciting woman in all Padua. And that you make the best spaghettini.
Professor Baglioni has sent this piano over from the university. Special, just for you.
I like him.
Special. It's a special piano.
I am glad you come to study. With Professor Baglioni and everybody in this place is a science all the time. Cutting frogs, making bad smells. I am so glad that with you it's musica.
Am I expecting company?
Oh,
Musica.
Professor Baglioni.
Does this guy live in Castle Dracula? Where is he?
He said, don't bother him. But after you have
They're
sleep
nailing the
and
castle
feel
look
better,
for
he will have supper
this being
with
a
you.
little live
Your father
TV
and
show.
Professor Baglioni, old friends, eh?
They went to school together.
Oh, before your padre become great doctor in America?
Yes.
Whoa. Big set.
What an exquisite garden.
Yeah.
It's even lovelier by moonlight than it is during the day. Elisabetta, I shall like dining out here from time to time.
you go past the gate, you will drop down there. Poof.
Poof.
Like that.
You'll drop down there, poof.
See?
Lizaveta, that's ridiculous.
That's crazy talk.
Look close.
Listen, you crazy broad. That's not gonna happen.
Do you see anything living beyond the arch? Not even butterflies. Not even dogs. They fly there and poof!
Lizaveta, you have a medieval mind.
What does that even mean? You have a medieval mind.
Lizaveta, come here.
He's saying she's backwards.
That
You're
girl
backwards.
does not go.
You're all turned around.
Santa Maria, Beatrice, Avelenata.
Avelenata?
Si.
Is that what you call her?
See, because she is. She is the poison one. She is the daughter of the Professor Rappaccini.
Rappaccini.
Very strange doorway.
In just
Yeah, it is.
one breath. Poof. See, poof, drops down dead.
Lizaveta, you're an envious woman.
Envy? Me? Her? Oh, just because she's beautiful?
Huh,
Look,
yeah, right. I'm not jealous.
I can pick up the flower.
I'm the
and it
least
does
jealous.
not die. See these? She makes them look like this. Rappaccini's daughter. With one breath. Like that. Huh. You do not believe I tell the truth.
You would think
Is
that.
her breath just really bad or what?
Yeah, that's
Dead
exactly
Rose,
what it
you will
is.
see.
Just like a Looney Tunes cartoon.
Yeah. Whoa!
Whoa! Moving all over this big set. Oh, we're getting some fancy camera work all up in here.
Buonasera, signorina.
All right, hand her the other flower. Hand her the dead flower. Oh, I thought they were gonna play into that moment a little more. That ended quick.
Yeah.
Your friend is waiting for
You gotta fit in more Bosco commercials. You gotta cut it quick.
Dr. Baglioni.
Dr. Baloney, I'm glad that you've arrived here in the Oscar Mayer Wiener mobile. We desperately need your help.
But tell me first, how is your father?
He's very well.
And how do you like your quarters?
The piano was a very thoughtful touch.
I have this on loan from the university. Don't give me away to the dean. Well, everything is fixed. You start classes on Monday. And I have taken the liberty of arranging a little something for you tomorrow evening.
Creeping around.
Some of the professors you will meet. Oh, not all of them, heaven forbid. But the most
It's
important.
a porn star looking version of Dracula with that
Where have you
mustache.
heard that name?
Lizaveta just mentioned it.
Giovanni.
Count
As
Gratula.
long as you are in Padua, have nothing to do with Professor Rappaccini.
You make him sound tempting.
Oh, don't misunderstand. He is not just one of the local eccentrics who might amuse you. I know him. Professor Rappaccini would stop at nothing. In the interest of science,
I'm
that would
right
help him to further
here.
his work.
Oh, here it comes. Here it comes.
Vegetable poisons.
Oh, here it comes. Here
That's
it
what he
comes.
cultivates in that garden of his. He has a
Hey!
theory that plant poisons have great
What's up? How are
curative power.
you?
We were
And
just
I
talking
admit
about
that
you.
He's had some success. He's cured a few people with some of his poison extracts. But his failures.
Come now, Professor.
He
No
sucks.
man with a daughter like Beatrice could ever...
Beatrice.
Ooh, he's standing right behind me, isn't
Only
he?
for a moment, just now in the garden. Lizaveta seems to think that she's the local Lucretia Borgia.
There are stories
That to
that...
kiss her is to die of ptomaine.
Giovanni, while you are in Padua, I am responsible for you. I do not take that responsibility lightly.
Don't be an idiot, kid.
I shall avoid them like the plague.
Seriously. See that you do. But I must run now.
Seriously, bro.
I have 50 young hellions waiting for me in the early morning, and I think they would like nothing better than to see me dissolve myself in one of my own acids.
What?
Beatrice! Beatrice!
Whoa.
Oh, they predicted COVID on
They
here.
did. Look at
How
that.
much care a great treasure takes. Yet I can no longer risk tending it. Even with these precautions. Pain is
Even with these precautions.
Pain. Yeah, this guy's a real ham.
Can tend it not.
I love it.
He's about to set up an amateur
I
radio.
must have some more bread.
No, Father, I cannot.
This is low rent
Our
Vincent
experimental
Price. That's who we've got
language
here.
is disrespectful.
Please don't, Father.
Tearing a leaf out of this fucking bush.
Right off of the COVID bush.
No, I cannot.
I can't.
And you know what I must do.
No.
And you know what I must
What's
do.
wrong what you're doing? How can you pretend to love me?
Weird.
Jeez.
Beatrice.
These pills just kicked in, man.
When you have calmed yourself, come. I will be in the laboratory.
I would be in the laboratory. He's very much from the school of Vincent Price. I love it.
When you've calmed yourself, come.
Buonasera.
Whoa.
We seem to be neighbors.
Yes.
That's what he
I was
said.
just admiring your garden. It looks
You are a connoisseur of flowers, Signor?
These seem more unusual than lovely.
Yes.
You say that as though you didn't agree.
No, they are beautiful. Beautiful and
You were going to say?
nothing. They're my father's whole world.
And yours? Yes, lovely. I don't believe I've ever seen anything quite as beautiful as that. What's it called?
Well, it has no name. Father created it.
Created it?
Yes, crossed one plant with another. It's his most valuable possession. He planted it the day I was born.
Okay.
We are both the same age.
Exposition, exposition,
You're alike
exposition.
in many ways.
What do you mean by that, Signor?
You're both beautiful.
Please, I must ask you not to say such things.
I'm sorry, I
Oh,
only...
I'm not angry, believe me. But we mustn't be seen talking together. My father wouldn't approve of my being here alone with you.
Do you mean...
No, please. If he saw us, it would be very unpleasant for me.
Go to the laboratory at this instant. All right, that'll take us to our first break right there. All right, so that was the first half of Rappaccini's Daughter. What do we think so far?
We got some crazy camera work.
Yeah, it's zipping and zopping all over the place.
Zopping around.
Pitching, catching.
All up and down the field. Yeah, it is. It is. That's been the most. That's definitely been some atmosphere too. That's been pretty nice. Like the set design, the production design.
That's pretty good.
Gotta give them a hand there. That's certainly.
So to recap, it feels like we've got a little bit going on. So we've got this guy who's just moved into this castle ? This house.
It seems like some kind of
estate,
rooming house, some kind of boarding estate. Yeah, like an estate, but it seems like, I don't know, it seems like it, like I thought that lady, the maid looking woman, was maybe like a landlady or something. The way he was talking made it sound like that it was some kind of, big place that multiple people were staying. I don't know.
Okay. But so he's staying at this place, and his neighbor is this professor and his daughter, I guess.
Yeah.
And everybody's saying, stay away from the girl.
Right. But he just can't keep himself away, can he?
He wants to tickle those ivories. He just really wants to play the piano.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's her. I heard your father has the grandest piano in all the land. I must enter. And he only keeps it in the laboratory. I must go to your father's lab at once. That's what it is. Now, that's what I say too, Fresh.
It's him. That's his eyes popping out and his jaw slamming down onto the floor.
Yes, exactly.
He runs through the doorway, but he gets like split in 3 parts by the chains. The parts kind of flop on each other. He puts himself back together.
Looney Tunes cartoon all the way. That's what it's turning into.
And then her father's gonna hit him in the head. He's gonna drop a safe on him from 3 stories up, and then he's gonna accordion walk around the garden.
Like stars flying around his head and birds.
Birds are gonna be circling around.
Yeah. We know how it goes. We've seen this kind of story many times. Many times. And yeah, I mean, so far it's been again, I think like even like the past couple Lights Out episodes we've watched, like it takes a lot of building, like especially the first half, right? Like last week's episode, the whole first half took place like in a bar, and it's just like 2 guys having a conversation the whole time. But it paid off like
pretty big.
Pretty big.
Yeah.
Pretty big payoffs. I'm not necessarily expecting that kind of payoff here. But we'll see. Who knows? I don't know. Again, they're certainly bringing the atmosphere and bringing the camera work.
I'm hoping she walks up and she has 3 eyes.
Well, that would be some nice. Then it's a continuing series. It's not a anthology anymore. Then
I would really love if like every episode from here on out just ended the same way.
Just Martians.
It's just always Martians.
Yeah,
she's like, hey, come help me dig this fucking hole.
Please, for the love of God.
And then some guy walks up and starts playing with a piece of string between his fingers.
Yeah,
we just keep adding on.
That's what we need. We need the crossover.
That would be amazing. Now, there is an episode that I won't give it away, but I'll just say it does a little kind of a meta thing. I'm gonna save that for last. And I'll save that episode for the last episode, because like it's a gimmick that happens in the beginning of the episode, and I had already I saw enough of it to like know the gimmick. I was like, that's a pretty good gimmick, but it's so good I'm gonna have to save it. So it's incentive to keep watching these Lights Out episodes, because whenever we have the season 5 mini-sode finale, whoo boy, it's a good one, apparently on par with last week's episode.
I haven't seen it, but it's a good one, apparently.
So they say.
That's what they say.
So
some people say,
all the people
according to legend,
that are dead, they used to watch Lights Out, so they said. We're there's only 5 people that have seen this now, and we're 3 of the 5. I might as well be. No, but it's building, so we'll see what they do in the second half. And again, it's a Nathaniel Hawthorne adaptation, and this story has actually been adapted a few times. It was adapted, I guess, probably like 10, 11, 12 years after tonight's episode. Again, in short form. It was part of an anthology film of Nathaniel Hawthorne stories that were adapted. And it's called Twice Told Tales. And it stars who else but Vincent Price. And
oh, snap.
So in their Rappaccini's daughter segment, who else plays Rappaccini but Vincent Price? So it's kind of ironic that we've got a very Price-esque actor here. somehow managing to be even more hammy and even more over the top than Price himself. But it's fun. I'm enjoying it so far.
He's very pricey.
Very pricey.
He doesn't come cheap.
No,
He doesn't.
No, he doesn't. Well, I mean, certainly the poor man's Vincent Price definitely comes cheap. Vincent Price was not a man of. He was a man of fine taste. He collected like famous artwork.
Vinny cheap.
No, not at all. Not at all. It's all class, that guy.
No, that's the name of our replacement for tonight.
Right, exactly. So yeah, I mean, we've actually seen this trailer, I guess, back whenever we watched one of the 2 Vincent Price movies that we've seen so far on the show. And it's a fun little trailer. But on either side of that trailer, we'll get some commercials. We'll have a commercial for orange juice. And then we'll have at the end, after the trailer, we'll have a commercial for sleeping pills. So that'll be a lot of fun. Don't fall asleep, especially because they got a really good jingle that'll make you want to go right to sleep. It's that good of a jingle. So don't let it get you. Be very careful. That's my warning for this commercial break. But we're gonna get into these commercials and trailer. And then when we come back, we'll get into the exciting conclusion of Rappaccini's Daughters. So stick around. We'll be right back.
Yes, always look for this Bird's Eye Bird, your guarantee of top quality frozen food. And your big Bird's Eye buy this week is Bird's Eye Orange Juice. Easy, you can serve it in a minute. Thrifty, it will save you money. Orchard fresh and delicious.
Better buy Bird's Eye. Better buy Bird's Eye.
From the vivid imagination of that master storyteller of the macabre, Nathaniel Hawthorne,
Alice!
comes Twice Told Tales, a trio of terrifying experiences, brilliantly portrayed by that personification of all evil on the screen, Vincent Price. In this tomb, you will live a pulse-quickening adventure as 2 friends dabble in the black arts, and a secret buried in the grave returns to haunt 2 unfaithful lovers.
You died, Sylvia. You've been dead for 38 years.
In this garden of evil unfolds the diabolic delineation of the most fantastic horror conceived by a distorted mind.
Since my father made me what I am, he used its poisons to change the chemistry of my blood. Watch that poor creature die. You would die if you touched me.
In this house of 7 gables, filled with the brooding mystery of an ancient curse, its very walls creaking with evil, a chilling tale of vengeance casts a spell of horror beyond belief.
That was his blood. The Pynchons are cursed. Every male member of the family has died the same way.
If you sometimes can't sleep because of simple nervousness, overwork, or fatigue, try Sominex. Taken as directed, Sominex helps bring 100% safe sleep. Contains no narcotics, non-habit forming.
Take Sominex tonight and sleep. Safe and restful sleep. Sleep, sleep.
Take Sominex as directed for 100% safe sleep.
And we are back. So yeah, that was yeah, did you like that? I don't even remember what the medicine was called. Did you like that, Jacob?
Sominex.
Sominex. I want to make sure everybody caught that last bit where it promised 100% safe sleep.
It's they have to guarantee.
Promise it won't kill you.
I guarantee it. They have to guarantee it. Otherwise, I mean, well, I mean,
was that on all medication commercials back then? Because they sure as shit don't put that on them nowadays.
No, they don't. But you remember,
this is 100% safe.
We watched
100.
We will watch. There was some ad last week that was for some kind of drug. I don't even remember what it was for, but it was like it's cough syrup, but it had no narcotics. That was like the big.
Oh, great.
That was like, it was the same thing where they're like,
no narcotics.
And it's, they had to guarantee that this shit wasn't gonna like fuck you up. I bet it did anyway. I bet it still had awful things in it.
Nobody's safe from Garrett on the stream.
You're not gonna die if you take these pills. We promise.
Garrett said, "I bet it killed people."
It definitely killed people. They definitely settled on some lawsuits. You know they did.
Yeah, closed door settlement.
That's why I realized I have to be picking like commercials for companies that aren't around anymore. So if we get borderline slanderous and they're feeling litigious, then they won't be around. So I don't want to like piss off, got to be careful with the cereal commercials, because I don't want big cereal coming after us. That's a whole other thing. But we've mostly seen Sugar Crisps commercials, and I don't know if Sugar Crisps are still a thing. So I think it's all right.
Well, the Bird's Eye vegetable company is definitely still a thing. So let's talk shit about them.
Okay, that's okay. We can definitely do that. That's fine. They're in Florida. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah. And then we saw the trailer for Twice Told Tales. I haven't seen that movie, but obviously that trailer, it shows a very hokey, fun movie with Vincent Price, hamming it up in multiple roles. And that last segment, House of the Seven Gables, Vincent Price was actually in a previous feature-length adaptation of that in like the 40s. So I don't know, Price was in a fair amount of Nathaniel Hawthorne adaptations.
You know what? Sominex is just Benadryl.
No.
Yeah, it's antihistamine. I looked it up
too. Antihistamine?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What?
It's the same like compound even.
Oh wow. Did not know that.
It's literally the same thing as Benadryl.
So you're safe except from the Hat Man. You're not safe from the Hat Man.
So, Benadryl won't kill you, but it will make you sleep.
Yeah, they guarantee that.
I'm not going to guarantee it's going to be good sleep, but.
And you're right, Sweet Feet. We do stan hokey. I certainly stan hokey.
Who is Stan Hokey?
A friend of the show, very special friend of the show,
Stanley Hokey.
Stanley Hokey. Very good friend of the show. But yeah, so I wouldn't take those. I'd beware of Benadryl too. We need to beware these if they're saying it's safe sleep. I don't know.
100% safe sleep.
Yeah, you gotta worry.
127% straight safe.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, great commercials, great trailer. And yeah, we're about to finish up this adaptation of Rappaccini's Daughter. Any predictions before we get into it tonight?
Well, based on our ad we watched for the Vinnie Price version, I think this girl might actually have some kind of power.
Maybe.
I want to see her kill the lizard in this one.
Yeah.
She's definitely going to have some powers, 100% power.
You can sense that, right? You can sense that power. That is, obviously good for the...
What were they saying? If she blows you, that you die or something?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what she said. That is, see, Fresh does
that
that,
is
but
what
it is what the
landlady
landlady said. She did say that. She said that. Oh, I'm pretty sure almost verbatim. That's what she said. So
Bendover's cousin, shut up, sweet pea.
Well, they're second cousins. More distant.
And they also have a distant relationship to Michael Hunt.
That's right, of course.
And Michael Hawk.
Oh, now we're just turning this into turning into Gunner Up News, isn't it? I'm here for it. We're reverting back to
got
our...
any more? Anybody else want
to? Just go ahead, knock them all out. Oh man. Well, yeah. Okay. Yes.
I need a
there we go.
There it is.
That's a classic.
Yes. Sweet Feet's got them all. Sweet Feet's got them all in deck. He could do a whole stream just on this family and this very large family tree. But unfortunately, we have to finish Rappaccini's daughter. So Evan, you want to see her blow up a lizard. Fresh, what do you think? What do you think's gonna happen? You think it's all just gonna be a dream?
I think if she blows you and you die, it's definitely worth it.
Okay. Just can't argue with that. I think that's the moral they're trying to set up here. So we'll see.
That's how I want to go out.
Right. Well, we'll make a note of that, and we'll try to make sure that happens for you, Fresh.
Try to accommodate. I appreciate it.
I'm gonna set that up for you.
Yeah. We're gonna set that up for you. A gift to the show. All right. If you boys have it queued up.
Yes, sir.
All right, then we're gonna get into the exciting end of Rappaccini's daughter right now.
Nice
Holy
glass.
shit. Yeah, I just had one glass of wine tonight.
It still counts as one.
That does count as one. That thing might as well have been like a... You can't use this candle holder as a wine glass. It's way too big.
It almost feels like an airplane bit where it's like a perspective thing.
Yeah.
You have the glass and then it's too big.
Right.
Just now I had the strangest sensation. I was playing the piano.
I will say this television adaptation looks way more dimension than that movie version in the trailer did.
That I knew you must be
It looks
here.
so flatly staged. Here, there's a lot going on with production design.
What did you think of it?
Work.
It was different from the other things. I don't know if I understand it. I was listening to you play just now, and in the 3 months you've been here, I've heard a change in your music. I hear in it an uncertainty, as if you were dealing with something you don't understand.
I am. Beatrice.
I love you, damn it.
How long do you think I can go on like this, seeing you a few moments each day? You realize that ever since I've met you, I've never taken you in my arms, never kissed you,
Giovanni.
Never even touched you.
In the 2 months we've known each other.
Don't you love me?
The moment I saw you, I said, this is the woman I'm gonna marry.
I saw her and I said, if I'm not kissing this lady in a week, I'm gonna be beside myself.
my God, he still hasn't finished it yet.
He's working on it.
He's pacing himself.
Yeah, this is definitely the music of a very mentally balanced individual.
Don't stop on my account.
Certainly not disturbed in any way.
Drop by. I've seen so little of you lately. A little somber, isn't it? What do you call it?
It has no name.
Interesting dedication.
It's a weird name for a song. It has no name.
Well, you know, those are always my favorite kind of song titles.
Yes.
It's like a Panic at the Disco fucking song title.
My favorite story about the original singer of Pink Floyd, the reason he apparently got kicked out of the band was he brought everybody a song called Have You Got It Yet? And they were trying to play the song. He kept changing.
They kept playing different stuff.
Yeah, and the lyrics were "Have you got it yet?" And then when they realized it was a joke, then they fired him.
Kicked him out.
Yeah, they kicked him out.
Scientists believe what they say about her.
And then that's who most of their famous songs are about afterwards. Was this guy's mental breakdown because he took too much acid. But that was like their breaking point was "Have you got it yet?"
Rub one of its plants.
Their breaking point was him trolling them. I love that. It wasn't the fact that he was mentally deteriorating, it's that he was a dick.
Exactly.
For the very same
Hit the nail on the head.
Have you got it
yet? I wish that tape of that existed of them trying to play that. That'd be amazing.
When she took it, it withered and died.
How can I be sure that's what happened? It was night.
Tell me truthfully, has she ever let you touch her? Hold her in your arms?
It's been 2 months, guys. Come on, what country are we in?
She was afraid Rappaccini would see us.
That is the explanation she gave.
All right.
Rappaccini.
All right. You tell me.
Rappaccini.
Giovanni?
Your
father is my dear friend. Please understand what I do. I do because of my interest in his son.
Professor Bayon.
Please allow me. I have every reason to believe that Professor Rappaccini, in some way, has made Beatrice impervious to poisonous plants. But in so doing, he has made her a living vial of poison.
But in so doing,
that Rappaccini has deliberately poisoned his own daughter? No man could be such a monster.
A scientist who deliberately raises his daughter so that she might handle poisonous plants without harm.
Boom Mike, boom Mike.
Yeah, is that boom Mike?
Boom Shadow. Yeah.
Scientific experiment.
No. No, I won't.
Oh my God. They just said fuck it.
Please understand what I am going to do. And don't think me a foolish old man. But if you really love her, go to her and give her this.
I thought it was going to be the lizard.
An antidote for Professor Rappaccini's plant poisons.
Why does he have this? Why does this guy have the antidote? What?
It doesn't matter.
Carrying it around with him?
Doesn't matter. We only have a 30-minute slot on TV, guys. It doesn't matter.
You're not wrong.
We can't flesh this out.
Homemade antidote, family recipe. Never leave home without it.
Right here. It's always safe.
I keep this motherfucker on me.
You know I'm strapped. I got that antidote.
I got that antidote on me. What? The hell is that?
Nice bow tie, loser.
Fancy bow tie.
Really is.
Giovanni.
Wait, what?
Giovanni, here. Here.
The antidote.
Oh, do they poison his wine or something?
I don't know.
I'm so confused.
I just picked up that bouquet. I was going to test her. I was going to watch with my own eyes to bring it to her. I barely touched it.
I have not tested the brandy, but I am sure that there is poison. Just enough. A few glasses a day, you would hardly notice it. Rappaccini! How could he?
Poison!
Beatrice! Giovanni!
Like someone's cat in the freaking background.
Did you say that he's been drinking a few glasses of wine a day? Like every day?
Yeah.
He's fine, dude. He's fine. He's good. You leave him alone.
There's no room in your life for him. Beatrice,
You love me? Do you love me?
Yes.
Enough to be free of him?
Cheated. Wow.
Then drink this.
It's the antidote.
Look out!
Oh!
Go! Drink it, quickly, you fool! Now go, quickly!
What an asshole.
What? Do you hear him screaming?
Oh my god. Help, I'm being attacked by Vladimir Lenin.
He's gonna break the hammer out here in a second.
The secret weapon. He pulls it out in his second phase.
It's a two-phase attack.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, it's better this way. There was no love in him for you.
Can I offer you some wine?
Just finished my glass. It's basically 3 glasses.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Wow, okay.
Lights on.
In case anyone should offer you a bouquet from Professor Rappaccini's poisonous plant, I'd suggest you turn it down. Don't you agree?
He always needs one of those after
Good
his
one.
closing line. That's great.
I suggest you turn it down.
Music by Arlo. Arlo's killing it, man. Killing it on the organ, dude. All right, that was Rappaccini's daughter. What do we think, boys?
We got a happy ending. We don't usually get a happy ending.
No, we don't.
Yeah.
No, we don't.
Yeah, those two are they're gonna have some Nesquik, if you know what I'm saying.
Right. Little quickie,
chocolate rabbit.
Little quickie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said it.
Little Nesquik rabbit.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess now that I know you're not gonna kill me if I touch you. All right. Yeah, that was all right. That was okay. compared to the other ones that we've had so far, you know. I mean, I really
Yeah, I feel kind of less on the creepy factor.
Mhm. Yeah. More concept, more kind of, you know, again, the limits of a television production. Can't really show any dramatic like scenes of her touching something in it. I mean, they could have. I don't know. I haven't read the story. Maybe they were sticking close to the story. Who knows?
Yeah, which one's the which one's the more accurate adaptation?
That's a well. I'm sure the Vincent Price one is much more fun. Um, but I don't know. I don't know which one would be more accurate. I mean, definitely seen that lizard just kind of start smoking in that trailer. It's like, oh, okay. They at least try to do some kind of special effects with her touching stuff. That's cool. I don't know. It's, you know, maybe seeing that trailer, I got my hopes up, thinking they could wow me here doing something like that. But I should have known, should have expected. But that doesn't discount that the camera work was really good and the production design was really good, and it had, you know, it had like signs of quality as the show
Yeah.
always does.
Do you guys think that do you guys think the trade-off would be worth it if you were immune to poison but you couldn't touch anybody? Like, I'm trying to think, like, what other than just like being able to say, yeah, I can do that. Like, what possible benefit would there be for this guy to like develop this technology, this plant?
Yeah, it's very true. It
Like, what
definitely
what's the case use for being immune to poison but you can't touch anybody?
immune to poison, but then you're poisonous yourself
Yeah,
to other people. Yeah.
you just gotta wear gloves, I guess.
Yeah, I mean that's how again, there was a show I think I was telling Fresh about it last week. Uh from the mid 2000s called Pushing Daisies, and it's about a guy who has the power through touching people and things can bring dead things back to life, right? And so but that's the thing, if he like touches
Oh,
something and
okay.
brings it back
It
to
was such a strange premise.
but if he touches something and brings it back to life, if it stays alive for more than 1 minute, then something else has to die in its place. And if he touches something once and brings it back to life, if he touches it again, it dies. So like basically yada yada yada,
It's a lot of rules.
his long lost
Yeah.
love like dies, and he touches her and brings her back to life, but he can't touch her again, so they like rekindle their romance, but they can't actually like touch each other. And so
Oh, they can't touch
no.
each other.
And there's a whole
No.
like he also helps a private detective figure out how people died by just going and touching the dead people and asking them how they died, and it's a fun
How did you
show.
die?
It's a fun show. But I bring it up because they never like talk about like, does the guy who had this powers, does he himself like have some kind of immunity to death because he can bring people back to life? Does that also make him immune? They never really explore that, but that's like kind of just what you're talking about here is this idea of a trade-off, right? Like this idea of like, well, if you have this like, if you have this ability, you know, you're just kind of a walking, I don't know, quarantine.
Yeah, it's. I mean, some I feel like there's some like superpowers that are kind of like a trade-off.
Yeah, that's
Like you have cool, like you have laser eyes, but you have to wear sunglasses all the time.
Yeah, like that X-Men.
I would
guy.
be okay with not touching people. I think I don't like people.
Okay, gotta take her. I mean, it is being immune to poison enough of a positive though. Like I feel like I would want something a little more. if I wasn't allowed to touch anyone ever again.
Well, for me, the not touching thing is also a positive. So I think I'd be
okay.
because it presents you like an instant out.
If you
for,
touch
like,
me, I'll poison. You'll be
win-win.
poisoned. Yeah. It does.
Like, hey, do you want to go do this thing that you don't want to do? Oh, sorry, I got this thing where I can't touch
Sorry,
anybody.
I'm poison.
Yeah,
I'm
literally
poison.
I'm deadly.
I'm toxic.
I
can't be around people.
Not figuratively. I'm literally toxic.
I'm actually toxic.
This is not like not in the sense of the Britney Spears song "Toxic." This is in the sense of like carcinogen toxins. Like you will die. I mean, I don't know. It's a. My thing is like, how often are you coming into contact with poisonous things anyway? That an immunity to poison would be such a big benefit.
How many times a day do you come in contact with poison?
Would you be immune to venom?
Maybe you take on
that's a good question.
Maybe you take on a job that just allows you to be around poisonous things and somehow you make money off of that.
Okay, you're saying turn it into a hustle.
Yeah, just like the
watch me,
you could be
just
an
like the
exterminator.
pushing daisies
cobra.
things. It's like if you have a power, then use your power and make some extra cash off of it. That's what pushing daisies, the whole detective thing is. It's like, all right, well, if I have this power and I might as well like, milk it for all it's worth. It's that's the way to do it. You just put yourself in the line of fire every day. Maybe you're wrangling poisonous snakes and you're getting the venom, or maybe you're.
I mean, honestly, you know what? If I was immune to poison, I would like go all in on becoming the next, like the new Steve Irwin. Forget his son. I'd push him out of the way because I'm immune to snakes.
Are you gonna dye your hair blonde, Evan?
Yeah, and I'm gonna turn Australian.
Yeah,
I'd be here for blonde Evan. I like that.
Okay.
Well, and Evan with an accent as well. That's goes without saying.
Oh, just gets an accent. Y'all.
Next season, I'm just gonna show up with an accent.
You're sneaking an accent into this deal now.
It's in my contract. I have to talk like an Australian.
I have to. It's not optional.
Evan requested that he be given more range on the show, more character work. He wants the chance to flex his muscles, and so he strong armed me to put it in the contract, and I had to acquiesce. So.
I'm doing a character. I'm like changing my appearance.
He said, I want to spend this whole season in character. I'm going method. You have to call me. My name is no longer Evan. What would your name be if you were the next Steve Irwin?
Oh gosh.
Steve Irwin 2.
Ooh.
Steve Irwin 2.
V2.
V2, yeah.
I'm back and better. And I'm not getting back in the water. I learned my lesson the first time.
Oh no!
But if you're immune to venom,
well, but was it the?
I don't have to worry about was it space parasites?
Space parasites.
Like
I'm
Spider-Man.
equally confused.
Like in Spider-Man. What?
I thought you were saying Steve Irwin died from space parasites.
Yeah, that's what the government doesn't want you to find out. They don't.
Well, that's because it's not true. Right. I don't want you to know this because it's not true.
Things aren't bad enough in Australia. They also have to worry about space parasites.
Well, let's be honest. If they're gonna go anywhere first, it's gonna be Australia. I mean, that's,
Why?
There's just something about like knowing that, for a long time, that's where everybody sent their convicts, and they just felt like they get like a, just something,
So they're
perfect
gonna
specimen.
Right. because we send all of our perfect human specimens to jail.
Perfect human specimen criminals. Criminals.
Alpha, the ultimate alphas go to jail. That is true.
It is a fact. Yeah, so I don't know. Yeah, be on the lookout for Evan next season. His new look, his new life. We're
Well, I've got to get immune to venom first.
True. Yeah,
I got to work on that. But we've still got a little bit of the season left. I think I'll figure it out.
We do.
Oh my God.
We are halfway through season 5. We are halfway through our mini.
I just realized Venom. I literally just realized.
I didn't get it. It took me a while. Okay, it's very good, Evan.
That one's for the folks at home.
20 minutes late.
Very good. Oh, better late than never, right? No, I was trying to put it together too. I was like, what is it? Which villain did something with space? Like I knew like there was something there, but it was not coming to me at all. So yeah, very good. That was very, very good. Yeah. We're halfway through season 5. We'll have a special coming up, so it'll kind of lengthen the season out a little bit. So, because we'll be adding a movie instead of just incorporating it into our schedule. But we've still got 5 movies left in season 5. So this Friday again, we're gonna be seeing. Oh God, this blanking. The Most Dangerous Game.
The
Most Dangerous Game. That's it. I came to me.
You got it.
I got it. I was late, but I got that.
Sound it out.
The Most Dangerous Game from 1932. It is, again, it's a short story that's been adapted a billion times. Basically, any story of a big game hunter hunting people on an island or some enclosed thing, that's what this story is. So this is the first adaptation of it, and it's a studio film, and it's pre-code, so it should be a lot of fun. As always, Evan brings us a wonderful cocktail to pair with the evening's film in a little segment which we call...
What were you drinking?
What are we drinking this Friday, Evan?
This Friday, we are drinking a lovely little cocktail called the Elephant Gun. So it's gonna pack. It sounds like it's gonna pack more of a punch than I think it actually will. It's made with whiskey, pineapple juice, lemon juice, and sugar. So it's basically a whiskey sour with a little pineapple juice thrown in. So kind of a tropical whiskey sour. Should be pretty good.
Yeah. No, it sounds good. It definitely. I mean, have we had any kind of anything close to a whiskey sour before on the show?
It's been we had the Stone Sour, but that was a long time ago.
Right. And then I know there was I don't know if the drink we had with Jesse James Meets Frankenstein's Daughter was close, but it was kind of like that. I think it was some kind of whiskey drink.
Yeah, I think it was.
That's Evan. I don't know if anybody picked up on it yet, but Evan actually picks the drinks each week going off of the song by Chumbawamba. He takes a whiskey drink, takes a vodka drink, he takes a cider drink. We did cider last week, so we're going back around to the whiskey again.
Yeah, you figured out my system.
I did. It took me this long, but I knew that it was tub thumping. I always knew that it was tub thumping. So,
well, we're always pissing the night away.
Yes,
here
aren't we?
At the Scream.
Oh my God, aren't we always? Aren't we always? So yeah, you can piss the night away with us this Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern on Twitch and YouTube. That movie should be a lot of fun. It really should be. again, these like early 30s horror movies where like the studio ones especially, they're big and fun and over the top. So it'll be a lot of fun. You can catch us back here next Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern for another installment of Lights Out. Yeah. Woo! Yeah, that was great. That was perfect. And yeah, thanks everybody so much for watching tonight. You can find us over on the socials at Scream Stream Show. Find me over on the socials at Spakenstein. You can find Mr. Fresh Rogan over on the socials at Fresh Rogan. And Mr. Evan Sink over on Twitter at Caligari Cursed. Nobody's got any new social things going on, nothing to plug, nothing nothing that you're hawking, no products.
I do not.
Anybody? Yeah. Well, I didn't know you or Evan. You know, you guys are always busy beavers. So trying to
Just a couple of beavers, me and Evan.
A couple of beavers.
Yep. Oh God. Well, all right. Anything before we sign off tonight, boys? I love that.
All right.
All right. Sweet screams, everybody.
And to all, a good fright.
Wow.